The most recent rumor in the world of Lost Ark UNA is that this month in June, we're gonna get the official Western website. It's just a rumor, but you've heard it here first, my boys. ARK! Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the Westernization of Lost Ark. What is the game missing so that the Western audience would absolutely fall in love with it? Now, I'm going to share with you a comment that I recently saw on my YouTube channel, which I believe sums up the point of view of a brand new player, not a fan like you and me that have been playing the game for 2 years, but just a guy that has recently heard about Lost Ark and he's currently playing some other MMORPG of which he's bored or he wants something new, etc. Recently I saw very many comments that are very similar to this one. It seems to me that in the past few months there have been quite a lot of new people, brand new to the game, never heard of it, somehow hearing about it and giving it a try by using my guides. Smart, by the way, really smart to try Lost Ark before it comes out to the West. It's a lovely MMORPG, a great way to spend your time, super fun. I have my guides in the description below, guiding you through every single step that you need to do in order to play Lost Ark with us in any region that you're interested in. So let me read you Anthony's comment, and I'm gonna stop and analyze and discuss and share my opinion also after every time he changes the topic here. So been having a go of this game on the Russian version. It has a lot of Westernization to do before it's ready. I can understand why they delay it. I really hope they adjust the game for us, or I feel it would be a pretty big flop. Personally, I have a feeling that they are changing Lost Ark, and not that this is the reason why it's taking so long. This is one of the reasons, but I do have a feeling that we are going to see some pretty big changes in the Western Lost Ark compared to every other Lost Ark that's currently out. Cannot PvP until max level. I'm gonna stop again right here because this is actually a fair concern. This is something that I have also raised myself previously. The fact that the Western audience would actually like to PvP sooner than level 50. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you the type of person that would like to have PvP available, let's say, starting with level 30. I also believe, same as Anthony, that there are actually very many people who would maybe want a little bit of a break from questing or the PvE content up until 50, just so they can do some PvP. One evening, you know, after 6 hours of PvE or after 5 hours of gathering Mokoko seeds, as they are level 42, they would just like to do some PvP. It doesn't take long in Lost Ark to get to level 50, so even without PvP until then, it's a maximum of 2, maybe 3 days if you're new to the game, like brand new. And if you're not new and you know what you're doing, it's probably a 16-hour continuous endeavor to get to 50 without any sweat. For the Western version of Lost Ark, we might actually have PvP starting with level 30, something that would also give you some experience, because PvP in Lost Ark is completely doable starting with level 1, because everything in terms of PvP in the game is absolutely and completely, I'm not gonna say balanced, because you know there's classes and classes, but equalized, right? Gear does not matter, you cannot use pots, foods, consumables, anything of sorts. So yeah, you can do PvP in Lost Ark starting with level 1, but it's not a feature in the game, but you could. So this is an interesting idea, and it's something that's really nice, and they won't even lose out on the max level boosts. Because in Lost Ark, eventually, not from the get-go, but eventually, there will be max level boosts, right? So people who are bored of one class in PvP at level 50, they don't really want to go through the whole leveling up process to get a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth class to the max level. But these hardcore PvP players that try 9 different classes, so 9 different characters, there are really few of them. The most people are PvE players who want alts for making gold, so they're still gonna get their money from the cash shop max level boost. They won't lose anything. This is a great idea. I completely get behind this. The quests are dreadful. Kill 3 monsters, pick up 3 things. Seriously, you kill 1 pack of monsters and the quest is complete. That's true in some cases. So you're spending most of your time talking to NPCs, taking new quests, pressing G, then you are doing the combat, which you so desperately want to do because it's the fun part of the game. Yet the game forces you to spam G through NPC chats? Why not make just one larger quest instead of 10 smaller ones? This is absolutely correct. Now, I wouldn't go so far to call the first time or the first and second time you level up through these quests dreadful. It is boring, it's not nice. Me, I've leveled up normally, like doing these quests, about 21 times. I wanted all the classes in the game. I had been playing in various different regions. I've also had some accounts locked, so then I had to level up again. G, 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 press G, more G here, more G there. This is kinda Lost Ark leveling process in a nutshell. Now, the first time around when you do it, you're not really gonna feel that because everything is brand new, the game is beautiful. I still remember my first time when I leveled my first time. It was a Soul Master. It was absolutely a gorgeous experience, and that is included with all of these Gs and with all of the NPC talking, and the leveling has stayed the same since the beginning of Lost Ark. Now, I do want leveling to change. Personally, as an MMORPG player, I don't think there should be any leveling in any MMORPG. However, you know, let's leave that aside. There's leveling in all of them, and I would like it to change. I would like, maybe like Anthony said, one huge quest that combines 10 quests together. It's the quest for that zone, and you get to kill a lot of mobs, maybe kill some bosses, do a lot of combat. He's actually saying a very honest thing, and something that I felt myself and didn't know how to explain it while I was leveling up is, why am I so bored of the story and pressing G? And that was because I wanted to do more combat. It's not the story, because the story was okay, but the fact that you don't really get to do enough combat. And that is true from the beginning all the way up until level 50 endgame. It's a lot of talking, a lot of G. I would really like that to change. However, I believe that it's not going to change for the Western version of Lost Ark. It's not a deal breaker, it's not the worst thing in the world, as long as, you know, maybe they add PvP from lower levels and other things, and so on. So it's not the worst thing, but it is something that's really, really boring, starting with your third character and onwards. Next, he says the difficulty of the game is non-existent. I believe he's talking about his leveling up process, yeah. You can solo every dungeon on hard. He's talking about the leveling up process. That is meant for 1 to 4 players. Mobs don't really attack you while you are attacking them, so you cannot just group them all up and AoE them down. Really needs a massive spike of difficulty increase, especially in groups. Very smart, I'm gonna talk about this. Most of the times in a group, it's first come, first serve to get the monsters to actually get any combat. Otherwise, you're just watching your mates kill stuff. I want to just quickly explain what he means by first come, first served. This happens very often, for example, when you match up to do a leveling up dungeon, right? And you are late to enter the dungeon or to press accept and stuff. People already are inside and have started walking in the dungeon and killing mobs. What he means is that the first guy or first 2 guys in leading the pack inside your dungeon will kill everything before your character gets to run and catch up to them. So that's what he means by first come, first serve. And this is actually a small problem, something that only a new player like he is, I'm guessing, would actually notice. This is actually a very fair point if you really think about it. How would you feel leveling up 35 levels and not being able to, you know, kill many mobs or feel like you're useful, or that you have participated, or that you are even playing in a group because you only meet your teammates at the end boss there for 45 seconds and then that's it. Very, very interesting point. And going back to the beginning where he mentioned the difficulty of the game being non-existent, he does mean the leveling up dungeons difficulty, because only those have hard mode and normal mode. So that is absolutely correct. This has been changed from 2018 up until present day. I can tell you that when I leveled up my first character in November 2018, when the game just started in Korea, these leveling up dungeons, if you selected the hard mode, were actually hard. You needed to use a lot of potions, you need to be really careful, and you actually died regardless. So back to the beginning and then join your teammates. It was quite long runs, to be fair, in the first month of Lost Ark, and later on in future months in 2019 beginning. Now these days the difficulty of leveling up dungeons is trivial. You can solo leveling up dungeons on hard mode, and this is not something nice, especially to come like this for the Western audience. I believe that even though me as a seasoned Lost Ark player, I already know what's at the end game and that I want to be at the end game, and end game is the cool thing for me to do in Lost Ark, because this leveling up process is going to take me 15 hours, right? But everyone else that joins the game, from WoW, from Guild Wars 2, from BDO, from BNS, from wherever, they don't know what's at end game. Is it the same or is it better? How can you know? And their first impression with Lost Ark is going to be this trivial feeling that you can solo everything, and that sometimes you don't even get to hit any mob or boss inside the dungeon because you've just been 30 seconds late to press the accept button to get teleported in. These are not nice qualities for a brand new MMORPG to have, and needless to say that I have already raised this difficulty issue, the difficulty of leveling up being very, very trivial, the dungeons, especially when you select hard mode there. He also makes a remark that this isn't even mentioning the obvious terrible stuff, which is a pay-to-win cash shop. Now again, regarding this pay-to-win topic, I'm not gonna stay very much on it. Yes, the cash shop in Lost Ark is debatable. Many people could potentially call it pay to win. Very many others could call it just a pay to progress. I myself have talked in several videos about pay to win in Lost Ark and my opinions on it. I will link you one video, my most recent one, in the description below if you're interested on the whole pay-to-win situation in the game. Lost Ark does not feel like a pay-to-win game. I can tell you this because I've played it for years. You never really encounter that feeling of, I hate that guy, look at that guy, he deposits so much money, look at him. Now occasionally, in rare occasions, you might actually look at the guy and he's all, you inspect him and his gear is all dark orange color and he's plus 20 and stuff like that. That doesn't really help him and that doesn't really bother you in any way. However, there might be a small feeling there of jealousy or envy if you're that kind of a player, but something that actually bothers you in Lost Ark just because the cash shop has pay-to-win items in it or debatable items in it, no. And I tell you this after being a lifetime Aeon player, which is a mega pay-to-win game. Lost Ark is absolutely nothing alike. It's actually the complete opposite, where yes, you really have a lot of value in the cash shop and buying things in the cash shop, but in reality inside the game you will never ever win anything by paying. So pay to win, no. Pay to something else, whatever, pay. Yeah, you can pay in Lost Ark a lot of money and makes your life easier. Even that's not good. I'm not trying to defend the game. I'm not saying that the game is, oh my god, the cleanest game in the world. Absolutely not. However, every MMORPG currently in existence, everyone from Final Fantasy to WoW to Guild Wars 2 to whatever, is debatable in terms of the cash shop, because this is the times we live in, and the future MMORPGs will be debatable as well. Lost Ark is one of them, it's somewhere there, but the PvP in the game is 100% clean and outside of the realm of real money or cash shop. You cannot have anything both come into PvP, so that doesn't matter. That's a really nice part of the game. And in terms of PvE content, again, it's not like, hey, my better gear will help me accomplish something that your worse gear doesn't really accomplish. We both still have fun, and eventually I'm gonna get there as well, right? Now, let's move onwards. The classes are all great, although as a support player from MMORPGs, I feel really left behind. There is like 95% DPS classes, 1 tank class, and 2 supports. I don't really enjoy the playstyle of either support, so I'm now left stumbling through DPS classes to play, although they are all really fun to play. Lost Ark does not have a healer tank DPS Holy Trinity setup. Every class in the game is meant to do damage, and there are some classes, like for example a more tankier one named Warlord, that can occasionally taunt bosses onto them and cancel a mechanic maybe, and so on. The 2 support classes can again occasionally pump some healing into you, but in Lost Ark the combat and the gameplay for everything from dungeons to raids is a bit more of an active gameplay for every class. The tank is not gonna be in front, or the Warlord is not just always gonna stay in front and then everyone else behind, and the healer, all he does, all of his UI, the skill bar is filled with healing skills, and that's what he casts. But like Anthony said, he doesn't really enjoy the playstyle of any support available in game, so neither Holy Knight nor Bard, and yeah, that's always sad. I've had actually many people who I've convinced to play Lost Ark with me a few years ago, that had been playing clerics or paladins in other games, and they too did not enjoy the healer in this particular game, but that's perfectly fine. They found other amazing classes that they want to play, and quite frankly they're loving it even up until this day. Lastly, he says, so when it boils down to it, this MMORPG is just going to end up being an arena game with the added annoyance of leveling 250 with a large tutorial, where you queue up for a game, same as League, Overwatch, etc. Not really massively multiplayer, is it? And who is that game tailored to? People who like arena PvP, BLC, Master versus Master. Those people mostly are not keen on the MMORPG stuff, example to level 250. Is it tailored to MMORPG players like WoW players? No, because those players like team play with supports, tanks, raiding, etc., which is very basic here. Now, Lost Ark is a very special game, a game that is going to capture a lot of people. Lost Ark appeals to the people who are going to love Lost Ark, and the game itself has a lot of content. The game itself has instanced content mostly, not so much running around in the open world and meeting other people and, hey man, let's kill this bear together now because we've just met. This doesn't happen in Lost Ark, that's true. So the people who love to kill bears in the forest with other people, they're not really gonna like this, but it appeals to so many other people. PvP players, where PvP in Lost Ark is amazing, crisp, fun, active, fast-paced and balanced in terms of gear and stats and everything else. It's fair to the people who love PvE content, because there is really challenging, not at the beginning, but eventually with time, with patches, with tiers. There's going to be really challenging 4-man content, 8-man content, 16-man content. These are larger scale raids that are going to start appearing in Lost Ark with patches to come. They do focus on that. Lost Ark is a very quality MMORPG, something that I can maybe name you 1 or maybe 1.5 MMORPGs currently in existence that are as quality as Lost Ark is. And if Lost Ark managed to keep my attention for 2 years, because I'm a guy that gets bored really fast of stuff in general, outside or inside. I'm not anyone special, I'm just a guy playing games, but I just get bored really fast. And not ever once in my life playing Lost Ark have I ever thought or felt, I'm kinda bored now. I've done 2 raids and 2 dungeons today, done all my cooldowns, 3 dailies, what next? You know, I'm just gonna do something else. Never once in my life. There was always so much to do. If I didn't want to do this, I went to another class. I did PvP. I went on the sea. I did achievements. It was a lot of things that always kept me busy, and I had fun doing all of them for 2 years, even though I don't care about these accounts at all, and I don't care about this game because it's not even out yet I'm still here playing it. And yeah, it's anyway, I'm hopeful, and I really hope that some of these things that Anthony was mentioned will be adjusted for the Western version of Lost Ark, with the emphasis on the difficulty point, which I believe that even for Endgame, especially for Endgame, because he didn't really seem to know that, maybe he didn't get there, but at Endgame, with the first ever release of Lost Ark, everything is soloable, and that is a thing that I believe the Western audience will not appreciate. There are things that we will never be able to change, such as the cash shop, the items in the cash shop, the fact that there is a gold to real money exchange, the fact that leveling is as it is, the fact that things have a cooldown on a daily basis, and if you want to do 4, 6, 9 of those things, you have to have more characters on your account, so play alts of the same class or different class, doesn't matter. These things we won't be able to change because they are core part of what Lost Ark is. And they should stay there because they're not so bad at the end of the day. However, the difficulty is something that they should definitely look into. People in the West, without a good amount of challenge at endgame, especially because nobody really expects leveling to be hard, so it doesn't really matter. But at endgame, when you do not have a challenge there and everything, you finished it in three weeks, you're gonna end up as a player always waiting for the next patch so you can do different content and get better gear. However, you're not gonna be excited for the current patch, which is really important to be excited for the game. My memories, the best memories I had in Lost Ark were from the beginning when I started playing, and that is when the game launched. At that time, not only leveling and dungeons as you leveled were difficult, but also the end game content was definitely not soloable. When you hit there, you can solo any raid that comes with a release of Lost Ark. Not a single bit, and everyone loved it, me included. I wish that would be the case for the Western release of Lost Ark. I have very few beefs with this game, even though I have beefs with a lot of things, but I see how they have worked on this game and how they have made it and what they're trying to do with it slowly by slowly, that I cannot really blame the game for much. But the difficulty is one thing that I will blame the game for, and I really hope that this is going to be changed for the Western release of Lost Ark. I wish you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you really soon, and until then, stay safe and take care.